Alright, hi, welcome back. So, as you can see, I'm all the way done. I've gotten to the end. I have very little string left over, and now I have to make kind of the end anchor of it so that it stays put and it doesn't like want to let go or anything. So basically what you're going to do is like kind of at the beginning you're going to do a back stitch and just go back over a loop once. You're going to do that, and then you take one of the needles and go over another loop. So it's basically like a back stitch and a half. String has frayed really badly. Basically, I'm gonna try and go back in a hole. Yeah, so like back in a hole, so like it will go right in here, and then I'll probably take the needle up on the green and go up one hole, and then go for the other half so that both strings will be dangling down here in the black, and I can cut them off and they'll be like under the hat bill is what I'm going for. So yeah, this is probably like one of the hardest parts because like the hole is already so filled. So, but hopefully I kind of explained that well enough so I can't, because I don't think I'm going to be able to show this, but like how I'm going right now, I think it might take some time, but yeah, let's go. Okay, so I got it through the eyes, or I guess the holes. Let's get a nice zoom in. So you can see here I have both strings on the black side. I took both of these strings through the first hole right there, and then so you see that one string would be on this side and the other would be on this side. So I took that string that was on this side and I went through one more hole. So now this string is one more step ahead. And that's basically where you end it. Now you can just cut them off. And you can see I already took the needles off. They're like really frayed. So and there you go. Oops. Now you're done. And in doing so, like whenever I was putting both strings through the first knot of the anchoring, basically, I actually broke the needle eye. If it wants to focus, but it doesn't want to. You can kind of see it's like really bent. Yep, there it is. You can see it's one side snapped. Yeah, it's because I grabbed it with the eye with the pliers and I was wiggling it, so it eventually snapped. So, yeah. Oh, whoops. Okay, so now the next step is to obviously like trim it. So we got the corners I need to snip off so they're round. Maybe even like this part right here, need to do some kind of good shaping with that. And then make sure it fits on the bill correctly. You know, there's no like bulging gaps along where it's supposed to be flush. That the corners go all the way to the back. You know, like everything fits and it's good. Yeah. Alright, so now that this is finished and it fits on the hat really well, we are now going to glue it on, since my needles nor my press can go through this, like, the actual bill. So what I've done, I went ahead and cut all the like flappies off, the like excess stuff that isn't really tied down or anyway. So they're kind of out of the way now. And I have this glue here, especially made for leather, which is this stuff right here. Nope, this way. Here we go. We just kind of like even attack. So the direction says that you have to use it on clean, dry surfaces above 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Brush evenly to place piece. Allow it to set until tacky, then press together. Avoid leaking edges, then allow to dry. Reaches full strength in 24 hours. Every tack may be thinned and cleaned up with water. So this basically has water in it, so it's real liquidy. You're just supposed to brush it on kind of thin, evenly, kind of like paint, and then we're supposed to wait before. Sorry, oof. I'm working on a video while I'm doing this, so I'm multitasking. Anyways, so we're supposed to wait until this gets like, I don't know, sticky like, real sticky, and then slip on the leather over the bill. That's basically what I'm gonna do. And then we can move on to this piece back here. And you can see I've already like cut a piece of leather that I want to use, and I just had it clipped back here to see if it would work. And I say it works fine, so we're gonna be using that. I wanted to use 2 pieces of leather, but it's actually going to be too thick to fit in this clip. I also want to clean this because, like, as I said before, it has like a lot of green oxygenated metal. I just want to like soak that in something. So we'll do that later. Maybe like, I don't know, something in vinegar, I don't know. Alright, so welcome back to the hat. Uncovered it, and that's what it is. Here, I'll get some more light. Hold on. Doing everything raw. Okay, so now that that's done, and that actually sticks really well. I only had to like glue it a second time because up here I didn't clamp it well, so I never like touched. So it's actually really nice. Together. Now, there are a couple things that I still need to work on with the brim. First of all, I need to cut these little corners off, otherwise it makes them look like a gangster hat. And then I need to work with these here. It's like weird corners. But there is also a third problem, which is the bottom. As you can see, you can still see part of the hat right there and right there, which is not what we want. There's also another problem that I caused for myself, which is this part of the brim. I'm just like making a disaster for myself, which is basically I cut the vinyl too short, so now it doesn't hold in the brim corner anymore. But after thinking about it for a while, I have come up with a solution, which is this thing. If you've ever seen it, basically, okay, so this here is like a bracelet wheel. You can move the string around and it weaves it together, which is what I'm doing right here. You can't see it because I just started, because I had to reteach myself. I forgot how I did this. But basically, what it's gonna do is create this right there, which is like basically like a rope. It's very strong too, Like, I liked it as a bracelet, but I also thought it would be a good way to wrap around the end of the frame, or the brim, all the way around, so that way it neatly covers my mistakes, as well as hopefully, in theory, holding the brim in, you know. And I'm doing it with yarn so that it is relatively big. So yeah, that is what I am up against right now. Then, after all of that, we will eventually work with the back of the hat. I will also maybe eventually make a separate video on how to do this and work with this, because I looked far and wide on YouTube and I only found what appeared to be only one video on how to do exactly what I'm trying to do. So I will make sure to teach people how, because, like, okay, basically this has 16 notches in it and there are 8 strings in total, and like that is the technique I'm doing it. A lot of the other ones had like 6 holes and 4 string, that kind of thing. It was really simple and babyish like. Now, I wanted man problems. So, yeah. Now that you know what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be speeding this process up so you can see it in action. Without further ado, let's go! Alright, welcome back, people. So, I just finished the brim. Finally got this thing braided. And then instead of really using the leather glue, I switched to hot glue since it was a lot better at, like, holding the rope better in the gap than the leather. So, the leather glue. So, yeah. Now you can see it's like a beautiful thing that wraps all the way around, inside and around, holding that one part of the brim that kind of stuck out in, as well as like tucking inside of the gap that I accidentally had. So yeah. Also, I figured out while I was doing this that, like, if you do get your leather glue in an open spot where you don't want it to see, simply wiping it off with some water works, since it's a water-based glue. Now, this gross thing that I have here, this concoction, we're going to be buffing this metal piece. As I said multiple times, I wanted to clean it. I asked my dad about it, and he said because there's kind of like oxygenated right here where it turns green, he suspects that it's copper. I was gonna say brass. I don't know why. So yeah, I went on Google and I found like a thing where it just like even parts of salt and flour mixed together with some vinegar to get like a paste, and then you just buff the metal. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm also going to be fixing this part, whether it's just like cutting it off or sewing it on top of each other there, and then sewing that back on. Then I have a strap back here that I cut out as best as I can. This here will be the strap, so I'll simply puncture a few holes, the leather, sew it, and then this will be the strap that holds the sizing of the hat. So, there. Yep. So, now that you know what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to speed this process along so you can see it in action. So, let's go!